Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Mistonia's Hope, continuing Alfred's route, now in Chapter 3, on our next day off. Going to meet our lover, but he's not really our lover, but he's gonna be, so good enough. He's basically our lover. On my day off, 4 days later, I went to Eden just as I'd been told to. I headed to the hideout, keeping an eye out to make sure I wasn't being followed. I knocked the proper number of times and entered through the ajar entrance. The door was quickly shut and locked behind me. The man who let me in looked familiar. He was the person I knocked down in a hand-to-hand combat. Good for us. I braced myself slightly, but the man raised both hands to show he meant no harm. He's like, "After you kicked my ass, girl?" "Sorry about that back then. I was the one who made the first move." I relaxed and shook my head, sensing no threat from him. "You don't need to apologize. You were probably acting under orders from your leader, right?" You figured it out. Well, whatever. Sir Al's waiting for you." With that, he retreated into the depths of the hideout and left me to my own devices. I called out to Alfred, who was focused on writing and had ignored our exchange. "You've arrived. Has anything happened at the Bernstein estate?" "Nothing out of the ordinary today. That aside, could you at least act like you're paying attention to me?" I said, mildly exasperated. Alfred's lips curled up slightly. He glanced sideways before responding. "I never thought you'd make such a fuss back then. My help wasn't necessary." He realized that hitting a woman was going too far and regretted it. He wanted to apologize, so I let him. "Oh, you really trust them, huh?" "I do, yes. If I didn't trust them, I wouldn't have come up with such a grand plan." I wonder, would you have gone ahead on your own anyway? I kept my thoughts to myself, but deep down, I knew that he'd have made his move eventually. Silence lingered for a while after that. "Well, you called me here, didn't you? What is it that you want from me?" "Oh, girl, you opened the door, and now he's gonna tell you. Throw you down on the desk and kiss you, and everybody's gonna be like, 'We're all here!' He knows that, right?" "Oh, I'm sorry for the trouble. I couldn't possibly handle it alone, though, so—" Alfred turned his eyes to the stack of papers on the desk. "I'm currently writing down the stonemasonry techniques that have been passed down in my family." The papers were filled with neat handwriting that revealed the writer's upbringing, the content quite detailed, just as he mentioned. He's like, "I'm writing it all down so that when you kill me, people have a reference." That's the insinuation here. I picked them up and skimmed the pages. The detail in the writing showed the writer's intention to make sure nothing was left unsaid. The passion in the text could be felt at only a glance. It almost feels like a will. "I mean, girl, you forgot you're gonna stab him?" What did I just say? Alfred didn't grow angry at the words that slipped out of my mouth. Instead, he seemed rather amused. "It will be once you kill me." "Why are you writing something like this?" "Weapons will probably be needed for the exhibition, and while the Twilight Ravens have members who specialize in making them, using my household's techniques will make them sturdier. I'll have them read this so they acquire the necessary knowledge for the plan." "I see. Still, you've really written this with a great deal of care. It's almost like you're teaching a child." It was then I realized that those reading it would be members of the Ravens, the people of Eden. Writing it this way made sense. When I looked up from the papers, Alfred had a sour look on his face, as if trying and failing to relax the furrow in his brow. "The fault lies with the country, and our own negligence. Many Bengals, especially those who live here, have low literacy rates. It's pointless if I don't make it understandable. Furthermore—" "Is there another reason?" He was silent for a while. After some time he continued, as if having made up his mind. "The power of our Fey ancestry has been weakening in recent years." "What?" I hadn't expected that. I was genuinely surprised. The 5 houses knew the Queen was weakening with age. Was it the same with the noble bloodlines? I never came across anything like that in my investigations.
I'm not surprised. Hardly anyone's noticed. House Cresswell is probably showing the most noticeable signs.
How can you say that the power's weakening with such certainty? There are plenty of demi-fae with powers that are stronger than normal, like you.
That's certainly the case with some nobles and the heads of the 5 houses, but the number of weaker individuals is definitely growing. The rising population in Eden proves this.
Alfred's comment made me recall something Goneril had told me about the people flooding into Eden. No way. If that's true, then why? What's causing it? Could it be related to the Queen's decline?
I don't know for certain, but that could be one of the reasons.
It was hard to believe at first, but the circumstances presented were all familiar, making it more plausible. How did you first notice? And when? Alfred looked at his hand, then rose to his feet.
You know how I have a taller frame.
Huh? Well, yes, I suppose so. You're definitely taller than most. Alfred was probably the tallest of all the participants in the 5 Houses conference. I always believed his height contributed to his intimidating presence. Is it a trait of your clan or something? But Charlotte's only a bit taller than me. She's about the same height as Evelyn. The only people I know from House Cresswell are Alfred and Charlotte. I never thought much of it.
Spriggan, the ancestor of House Cresswell, was known for their short stature. Those with greater strength tend to have this trait in each generation.
Huh? But you're...
Exactly. As you know, I currently have the greatest and most obvious power. It all started when I began to question myself.
Alfred went on about how he was often teased for being tall when he was a child. Despite that, he possessed great power. That's really actually kind of fucking funny. I love how they threw that in. You're like, you know how I'm like super tall? Yeah. Well, I was made fun of for that. What? Yeah. Because I was tall. Everybody made fun of me for being tall. They're like, what kind of a Spriggan are you? Freak? Because usually you get made fun of for being short. Especially men. Like, in the current, like, even now, it was like, oh, God, you know, like, we're only 5'10". 5'10" is perfectly fine. Like, they were like, oh, girls don't like guys who were, like, short. Like, nobody gives a fuck. Like, most people don't give a fuck. Men give more of a fuck about the height of themselves or other men than women do. Let's be real. But, like, I mean, everybody has preferences. But still. But you know what I mean? It's usually, like, men who are insulting other men for being short. And in this case, they're like, let's reverse that and make him... people made fun of him for being tall. Fuck. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of funny. Like... like that they just reversed that. Curious as to why he was the only one who was different, he started going through House Cresswell's history and legends. It was then that he slowly started noticing the weakening. So did you conclude that the weakening of the Fae power applies to all houses, not just Cresswell?
Indeed. Looking into the other households was no easy feat, but my hypothesis turned out to be right. Every house has been banishing more and more Mingles each year.
As the pieces came together, Charlotte looking down and dejected over her own weakness came to mind. Chances were high that more people like her would emerge from now on. Is this the main reason you decided to put your plan into action? Alfred closed his eyes for a moment, took a seat, and nodded.
With the continued decline of the demi-fae, it's only a matter of time before Fremdelen sees this as an opportunity to attack. Fremdelen fears us because of the Queen and the power the demi-fae hold. Should we remove Her Majesty from the throne, the period that follows will be most dangerous. That's why we're preparing now.
Oh, I see. I get it. I've always found it so strange. Why would someone as powerful as you go to such lengths to side with Mingles and the weak? Seeing the way he treated them, it was obvious that it wasn't a calculated effort to maintain the current power balance with Fremdeland. He's driven by the idea of providing demi-fae like Charlotte, with almost no fae power, jobs so they can survive.
Household social standing and race don't matter. We urgently need to learn to survive and resist the Fremdelandians. Fremdelandians? Whatever. Without relying on our fae power.
Alfred exhaled deeply once he finished. He placed his hand on the massive stack of papers and stared into the distance.
Well, it got kind of long, but that's basically it. That's why I want to make a practical book for everyone.
His goal was to protect the citizens, regardless of whether they were demi-fae or mingles. His resolve continued even after the queen was dethroned. But is selling House Cresswell's technique so cheaply really all right? Isn't that the same as losing your privileges?
Our techniques were originally meant for the good of the country. If it allows everyone to live up to their full potential, then I'll gladly give up our privileges.
Hearing those words spoken so clearly and without hesitation made me remember what Leonardo had said.
It's not just me either. He treats Mingles with genuine respect. He doesn't see us as inferior or pitiful. He treats us as equals. When he first came around, I thought it was just a nobleman's way of showing pity and entertaining himself. But Sir Al's genuine.
Leonardo probably trusts Alfred this much because he knows this side of him.
Do you remember how I once said I wanted you to teach me embroidery?
I believe that occurred back when I didn't fully grasp his true intentions, and I was cautious of being probed. That was before we knew each other's circumstances, wasn't it?
You're right, but I was being genuine. If we use embroidery to distribute specialty products, we might be able to create a better foundation to support people.
So he was being genuine back then? I used to think every word this man uttered had a hidden meaning, and I was left speechless knowing this wasn't the case. Well, technically it did have a hidden meaning. He was asking you to teach him embroidery so he could help other people better their lives by teaching them embroidery and helping them create nice things. He just wanted to share the knowledge. So, it kind of did have a hidden meaning, but, not really. You know what I mean? He didn't say, hey, I want you to teach me so I can teach other people. But you know what I mean? Not really a hidden meaning, I guess. It's more like a hidden reason. He gave a wry smile, seeing right through me.
Did you think I was always lying?
Well, yes. You're just so good at putting on an act.
And that's quite a shock. I do speak honestly from time to time. For instance...
Alfred handed me a piece of paper and a quill. I glanced at them but didn't take them, waiting for him to continue.
I wasn't lying when I asked you to help me write. I know how capable you are from the way you handle things at the Bernstein mansion.
He's like, I want you to copy. Oh my god, we're going to sit here and copy shit. It wasn't until then that I realized how off track our conversation had gone. It all began when I asked why I'd been summoned here, which then turned into a conversation about Alfred's technical book, and eventually to the weakening of the Fae power. This is just a hunch, but did you call me here today just for this?
Yes. As I mentioned earlier, I've been going over the plans while handling other matters, and I just can't manage it all on my own.
I instinctively shot Alfred a glare. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm not your servant or your friend. We're just allies.
I know, but you wouldn't lose anything by knowing the techniques House Cresswell has, would you?
True. I don't get a chance to see techniques from other households often, so it might come in handy if something happens. However, I don't like the idea of admitting that. I love that. She's like, true. I don't want to admit it, though. She's a little stubborn, and I like it. She's like, I will be stubborn and salty. But, I love this man. He's so, no, I am angry and salty. That's cute. He stared at me with the kind of look someone gave a child throwing a tantrum. Then he spoke again, emphasizing his point.
Victory is always won by the amount of information you have.
I ended up giving in, realizing that he wasn't going to pull his hand away until I took them. Aww. Oh, look at our little CG. She's all pouty and fine, whatever. I guess I'm going to write. And he's like, look, he looks so happy. He's like, there's just something on his face. It's like a little bit of joy, but also softness and sweetness. And he's like, thanks for helping. She's like, yeah, whatever. It's so cute. Aww. Look at him. Oh, I'll help you write your will and testament to ensure victory. I grabbed the things from his hand and sat. Alfred sat across from me, and I struggled internally with where to look. I fixed my gaze on him, not letting him see my unease. She's like, the more I look at him, the more beautiful he is. So what do I do?
Write down everything I say from here on as precisely as possible. First,
Okay, that's cute. So we're not just copying, we're writing for him as he dictates. I transcribed his words, delivering in a fluent, well-reasoned manner. Oh, delivered. I just transcribed his words, delivered in a fluent, well-reasoned manner, making sure to write them as clearly as I could. I never would have believed this day would come. I don't know how to feel about this. Wait till the first day he kisses you, then you're really not going to know how to feel about that. Alfred continued on in his own writing as he spoke. Oh, he's also writing! Okay, so we're making multiple copies, basically. So he's writing it down, like, so I am writing these words as I tell you, and you're writing what I say as I'm writing what I say. Got it. He's so adept, yet he can be overly blunt and awkward. Like when he's speaking with Lucas. He's such an enigma.
Hold on, this part is wrong.
Alfred didn't overlook the brief moment I lost focus. He pointed at the paper and corrected my errors. I take back what I said. This was way more of a hassle than I imagined. I continued, since I already told him I would, even if I did regret accepting the task. I love how she's a little grumpy about this. She's like, God! But like, this is they're forming this little bond here, and I love it. Oh, look at him blushing! Look at his face! Oh, stop, my heart! It's so adorable. Is this good enough? Hey, are you listening?
Oh, yes.
Because he's watching us write, and he's just like, oh, he was swooning a little, and we caught him swooning. Stop it. I'm going to cry. Look, he's so precious.
This is correct.
What's wrong with him? Jeez. Oh, I love how she's so clueless. Oh, it's so adorable. My competitive spirit took over as I continued jotting down Alfred's words. I didn't make a single mistake. I love how she's like, is this right? And he's like, huh? And she's, oh, yeah. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Because he's probably just, as we're writing down and he's saying things, he's watching us. And just like, God, she's beauty. She's beauty. She's beautiful. I was thinking she's beautiful, then I was thinking pretty, and it came out beauty. But whatever.
Thanks. I owe you.
I wasn't helping you. I just didn't want you complaining later that you didn't finish your will.
All right. I should have known you'd say something like that.
I couldn't bring myself to acknowledge that I'd helped him, nor could I accept his thanks sincerely. Alfred didn't seem fazed by my spiteful remark and merely responded with a faint smile. I shot him a brief look. Look at him beaming at us. God. I'd noticed it before, but his expression here at the hideout was much softer than the stern face I always saw at the Bernstein mansion. Could this be his true nature? Even so, I feel like something's off. Something is off. He's falling in love with you. His face is soft, but it's even softer than normal. Allude to it, show concern for his health, don't show concern. I feel like it's either allude or show concern for his health. It's not don't show concern. That's bad. That would be a bad choice. Ooh! Ooh! Oh, yeah, bad choice is don't show concern. I bet anything. Hold on. We should have gone up and around. I don't know why I insist on going the long way. Okay. Okay. It is allude to it. Okay. Because maybe show concern for his health is like, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. Allude to it is like something's up that maybe like, so alluding to it is like, we're not saying specifically, oh God, do you have a fever? Matter of factly or anything. Don't show concern would be bad. Just being like, yeah, whatever, bye. Bad. Being like, oh, are you, okay? Do you have a temperature? Because your face is red. You must have a fever. It's still not great because it means that we're not picking up what he's putting down. We notice something's wrong with him. Good. But we're not picking up what he's putting down. Alluding to it may be like, I mean, are you okay? Your face is red and I don't think it's a fever. Are you flirting with me? You know what I mean? Anyway, we allude to it. You look like you had something to say earlier. What is it? His face hardened at my question for some reason. Then he averted his gaze. Oh, romance.
It's nothing.
You're not very good at lying today. You stared at my face the whole time, same as with Lucas. What's going on?
I have no idea what he's thinking.
I see. But you do know yourself, don't you? What happened?
I
What? He opened his mouth without as much as looking at me when I prompted him to continue.
Well, your face kind of reminds me of something. Oh, yes, the cat I used to have when I was younger.
You know what? I feel like that's a cover. He's like, it's just your face. It reminds me of something instead of being like, your face is just beautiful. He's trying to cover that. So he's like, yeah, you remind me of a cat. What? Oh, that's so funny. A cat, huh? He's definitely lying. Yeah, because he doesn't want to tell us that he thinks we're pretty. And he's smitten. Because he knows he's like, if I tell you I'm smitten, you're going to think that I'm doing that to get out of you killing me, but I'm not. Like, what's gotten into him all of a sudden? Could this be some kind of trick? Alfred turned his face away as though he didn't want me to ask further. He covered his mouth with his hand, refusing to open up about it. Oh God, he's totally smitten. Look, oh, is he blushing now? Oh my God, did he just turn away awkwardly blushing? Oh, stop it! Oh, whatever. I'll let it go for now. I can ask again when he's more relaxed. You want me to pet you, but you have lots of pin feathers, so they hurt, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Having made up my mind, I decided to stop pressing him. We've already seen enough of each other today. Honestly, I'd rather not see you for a while, but tomorrow's the Five Houses conference. You're coming, aren't you? I like how, I'm so sick of looking at you, and he's like, I could stare at you forever. Meanwhile, deep down, she's like, I want to stare at him forever, but I'm also going to kill him, so, I have to pretend that I don't care.
Obviously.
Maybe I should stop serving and stay out of the room, considering how Lucas acted last time. I could tell he was still wary of me. If Lucas kicked me out like that again, people might get suspicious.
Agreed. You don't need to provoke his suspicion for no reason. If I get any new information, I'll share it with you.
Sounds good, and we'll have to be cautious around Linus. I didn't expect him to be such a firm royalist. From the looks of it, it doesn't seem like he'll compromise on the Queen's safety, even with Edward's intervention. Isn't he the most troublesome person for you right now?
That's true. His Kusith traits, as well as his passion for his fate, are a threat.
Fate? Part of me was bothered by Alfred's comment, but I chose not to cut him off. I'd ask about it later.
However, he's someone I acknowledge.
Alfred continued, glancing down at his clenched hand.
Linus and I will never be on the same page. Even though our stances are different, I'm well aware that he's a sincere man with good intentions and a strong sense of duty. Besides, we're similar in a way.
In what way exactly?
The fact that we both have something we must protect.
Alfred said nothing further and closed his mouth. I should get going soon. I'd like to unwind a little on my days off, too.
Wait.
Alfred stopped me just as I got up. He pointed to the back of the hideout.
Leaving from the front's far too risky. The yard's patrolling now. Use the back door.
Oh, thanks for the warning. After all the careful planning, getting caught now would ruin everything. I'll have to be cautious.
That's right. Especially because you don't fully understand the Raven's rules. The most dangerous time is when you can't call for help. Besides...
Alfred paused mid-sentence and fell silent once again. His indecisive manner, along with the matter of Linus, mildly irked me. I was already exhausted from all the writing. What is it? Perhaps sensing my irritation, Alfred didn't stay silent this time. He began to speak, albeit slowly.
Do you remember when I said I was glad you didn't get caught? After we revealed our true identities to each other? I understand that I'm in no position to say this, but I'm glad you survived.
Yes? How could I forget? I remember thinking how ironic it was that you said that. Anyway, how is that relevant now?
I don't blame you for thinking that, but make no mistake, those were my true feelings.
And? Oh, I know. If I had been caught back then, the Queen would have returned to her prime. For you and the Ravens, it would have put you in a very troublesome situation, right? Ever since I learned the truth, that constant guilt I felt lingered deep within me. I thought it'd be better if I didn't exist. Perhaps that was why I became somewhat cynical.
No, that's not what I wanted to say.
Look, he looks so sad. He wants to tell us how much he loves us. I mean that's partially true. I mean, we're not wrong about that. He might not think that, but it is a fact. Alfred lowered his gaze for once. He seemed to be searching for the right words. Are you going to confess your feelings for me right now? Because, like, I might die.
Regardless of any agreement between Ainzel and Her Majesty in the past, you are who you are. You don't owe sacrificing your life to anyone. You did well to survive that day, so don't put yourself in danger anymore.
I mean, I feel like he honestly believes that, but there's also a part of it. It's like, I'm glad you survived because then I could fall in love with you, even though you want to stab me. But also because you're a human being, you don't deserve to be a vessel. I never imagined he'd say something about my life being of value. It left me speechless.
How about you take better care of yourself? I know my words might be futile at this point, but she's gonna...
This is the point where I'd shove him on the desk and kiss him, but she punched a wall. Good. Not wanting to let him finish, I slammed my fist into the wall with all my might. He looked at me surprised. Well, I met his gaze head on. You're seriously saying that? If you and the 5 houses hadn't followed the Queen's command, things wouldn't have turned out the way they did.
I know.
Stop trying to play the good guy now. If this is out of guilt, it's pointless. And with that, I stormed off and headed back toward the entrance I had originally come through, disregarding Alfred's warning as I struggled to catch my breath.
Stop! I told you not to go that way. I won't let you through.
Oh, look, he's getting all up in her face. God, he's so gorgeous. Look at his eyes. Alfred caught my arm, pulling me back. The strength in his grip made it clear he had no intention of releasing me. Can you just kiss me now? Because this is the time for a forced kiss. Just that I'm going to be so mad about, but be so into. Let go. I can evade the yard just fine on my own. Don't underestimate me.
You don't need to listen to me, but you must avoid the risk. You have something you need to achieve, don't you? You're not someone who would usually overlook that.
Because we're mad. And she's not mad at him because he's like, hey, I'm glad you survived, whatever. She is mad because, like, she feels something at his words. And, like, because if you didn't believe him, if you thought he was just, you'd be like, yeah, okay, whatever, dirtbag. But she is mad about him saying this because she's like, I know he means it. And, like, I feel for him. Like, damn it, you're not supposed to make me feel shit aside from stabby. But she's feeling shit other than stabby. She's mad at herself for being swayed by his words and believing him and, like, actually knowing somewhere deep inside that he's a genuine, sweet person. And she hates that. I knew I was being reckless. His point was valid. I focused on steadying my breath, trying to ease the chaos of my emotions. I like how she overreacts a little and is a little, you know what I mean? Because, like, she's not just totally calm and cool and collected. Like, she's angry, which makes total sense for, like, her situation and wanting vengeance. But being angry with him now is like, oh, it's so good. Because it's not just like, fuck you, I want to kill you. It's like, damn it, I want to kiss you, and I don't like that. I should just want to kill you. And she's fighting with these emotions she doesn't know she has. Oh, it's so good. Perhaps sensing that I'd calmed down, Alfred slowly loosened his grip on me.
Sorry. That was thoughtless of me. Forget it.
Whatever. I'll use the back door. I didn't say anything more and left the hideout, not looking back at Alfred even once. I replayed the conversation from earlier in my head as I walked through the crowd. Why would he say something like that? I swear, being around him always messes with my head. Yeah, 'cause you're starting to fall for him. My anger at Alfred hadn't faded. Hatred, sorrow, emptiness, and a sense of helplessness all swirled inside me. And yet, I could really see why Charlotte, Edward, Leonardo, and the Ravens admired him. It confused me. What's with him? Seriously? No one answered me. After that, my goals hadn't changed, even though I realized the confusion I felt from being involved with Alfred. If anything, I made a point not to let anyone sense anything wrong, so I decided to focus on performing my duties as a servant flawlessly. All right, let's start with dusting the furniture. Then we'll polish everything to a shine. Huh? Evelyn ran a finger across the shelf next to her, then moved on to examine the corners of the room and the window frames. Has everything been cleaned already? I woke up early this morning and took care of it. The hallway and garden are also clean. I see. Thanks. I guess we should do the laundry next. There should be plenty today. I've already done that too. What should we do next? Say what? I can take care of the dishes. It's all right, I'll do it. Okay. I suppose I'll prepare lunch then. Let me help. I finished. Huh? No, it's fine. I'm used to it already. Oh, is that so? Well, I'll go back to polishing the cutlery. Once I'm finished, I'll clean the kitchen. Thank you. Like how she's like, God, no! Anyone but you! You'll kill someone! That's why Alfred's so skinny. we try to bake him cookies, and he's like, I'm gonna die of dysentery. Like, phew. An overwhelming wave of exhaustion hit me when I returned to my room after working all day. I definitely overdid it. After all that effort to stay focused, I'm worn out. I checked my pocket watch, moving sluggishly. There was no message to respond to, so I sent out my regular update and lay on the bed. There was a soft knock just as I settled down. Who is it? I opened the door to find Evelyn and Charlotte standing there. Girls' night! Pastries and a tea set were in their hands. You were working harder than usual today, weren't you? I don't know what happened, but you look like you were pushing yourself. We got worried. I knew it's none of our business, but we came to check on you. They're so sweet. I softened a little when I realized they were concerned for me. Thank you. Feel free to come in. Before I knew it, I'd invited them into my room and began preparing for a small tea party. We secretly love them. You know it. You know she secretly does. Once we were seated on the bed with our cups in hand, Evelyn peered at my face and spoke up. You don't look pale, but you do look a bit worn out. Just a little bit. So it's true. You really shouldn't push yourself. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Evelyn placed her cup on the table and crossed her arms, brows furrowed as she pondered something. I wasn't really sure myself, but could that be the reason for you acting so weird? Huh? My heart raced. Had I unknowingly done something suspicious that caught Evelyn's attention? Evelyn leaned closer and raised a finger, oblivious to how tense I was. I'm talking about love. I like how she's like, ... like dead silent. And she's like, what? But is that why you're acting weird? Love. Yes. Because you're falling in love with Alfred and it's messing with your emotions. But she's again, she hasn't, and she's not like, I think I feel something for him. No, she's totally oblivious to her own feelings. But that's absolutely why she's so angry at him and she punched a wall. I love the fact that we punched a wall. We're the danger here. We're the red flag right now. Excuse me? Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Love. 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 Romance. Longing. I understood it all too well, of course. When I was younger, I used to dream of a fairy tale-like prince, too. Well, your fairy prince might be John. I don't know. Something nearly came to mind for a moment, but it vanished before I could grasp it. It was green. I'm just saying. John's color was green. I don't think that has anything to do with it, but still. Evelyn's comment was so far removed from my current self that I didn't know how to respond more than anything. What? About love? When I accidentally let out a silly noise, Evelyn gave me a knowing nod as if she were saying not to worry about it. You're the right age for it. Falling in love isn't strange at all. We were just talking and thought this might be the case for you. Evelyn, calm down! You're confusing her. Charlotte shook Evelyn's shoulders in an attempt to stop her, but Evelyn continued, completely unfazed, her cheeks tinged with a slight blush. Sure, the difference in status is undeniable, but you can't help falling in love, right? It's cliché, but I totally get it. Does she think she knows? Do they all think I'm in love with Alfred? Because I totally am, but I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I understand. Who is in love with whom? She mentioned that whole thing about status. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, come on! It's about you and Lord Alfred! I just want to lay down and kick my feet in the air and giggle. This is adorable. I can't kick my feet because the bird's sitting on my legs, so I send him flying if I kicked my feet. But I'm internally, like, my legs just want to be like, and do a little giggle kick. You know what I mean? Because I just love this. I love that everybody thinks we're in love with Alfred, and she's like, I want to stab him, but she can't say that, you know? Come again? The shock was so great that I almost reverted to my actual self. Love was the last thing on my mind. Yeah, I know, but it's in there. It's the last thing on your mind, but it's on your mind. You just haven't quite gotten there yet. The mention of something so completely outlandish made me blurt out those words. Honestly, look, you were talking about the weather the other day, weren't you? I was actually surprised at how bold you were. I already explained that. It was nothing but small talk. That was just meant to be an exchange of information anyway. I couldn't correct her, though, so Evelyn continued cheerfully. The planet... Oh, the path ahead might be tough, but don't worry. I feel like Lord Alfred's starting to open up to you. His eyes are soft and kind. Oh. You think so? There was no way that could be true. And then again, I hadn't forgotten the soft look he'd had at the hideout. The confusion I'd only just managed to dismiss returned. Exactly. I never heard rumors about his love life before. Agreed. When I was still in the household, Lord Alfred always dedicated himself to his work. Honestly, he didn't seem interested in romance. Maybe Charlotte was happy to see a more human side of her benefactor, but I couldn't help but feel bad for her. I shook my head and forced a smile. Both of you are reading too much into it. Lord Alfred doesn't feel that way. You've been reading too many romance novels, haven't you, Evelyn? Well, sorry, but it's my hobby. What's the big deal? I've read about 100 books in the last 2 weeks, but I know the difference between fiction and reality full well. I don't. Because my fiction is my reality. I live in my man harem in my head. That's what gets me through the day. Listen, Delulu is the Salulu, okay? But do you think Lord Alfred truly cares about you? Even Charlotte? Everyone really enjoys discussing this kind of thing. I don't think so. It might be because I did a lot of serving at the meeting. Hey, can you think of anything? Like, has he been extra kind to you lately? Or have you noticed anything unusual? She's going to think about the whole situation at the thing. Not at all. I knew overthinking wasn't good, but my mind drifted to my recent exchanges with Alfred. Why did I get so pissed off I wanted to punch a wall, right?
Our status doesn't matter. And what you said is completely correct. I was only hoping for a quiet break, but I might have acted improperly. Smoking at someone else's house is indeed disrespectful.
Tarry Bird. He's always scowling at the estate. Nothing ever changes, so nothing unusual could be happening.
Yeah.
Is this good enough? And then she's like thinking about the awkwardness, right? This! Because he's staring at you blushing. Hey, are you listening?
Oh, yes. And this is correct.
Wait. I hadn't noticed back then, but looking back, Alfred and I were unusually close. Could it be that he was thrown off by it? What's wrong, Speece? Did they sense something was off with me? They kept staring at me. They're like, no, because they're like, she's putting it together. The hamster's in the wheel. I replayed the scene in my head, silently telling myself that I was only doing it to clear my doubts. Then I opened my mouth. They're like, the hamster's in the wheel. The hamster's going to figure out how to run. And we're about to have liftoff. So, I have a question. Why does one feel uneasy when they get physically close to someone? Oh, come on! Isn't that obvious? It's because their hearts skipped a beat! You mean that happened with Lord Alfred? No, wait. It's merely a hypothetical scenario. There's nothing going on between us. Evelyn leaned in closer, looking displeased, though Charlotte tried to stop her. I simply maintained my usual iron mask. And yet, deep down, I couldn't help but think of him. Alfred could never have romantic feelings for me. He definitely doesn't feel that way. I mean, okay, first of all, right, obviously he does. She's the type of character who's like, what? Nah, he's not interested in me. Again, this would be me, so I'm fully vibing with her on this, okay? I'd be like, what? No. Even though he stood outside in the rain with a boombox or like tart chocolates and told me he loved me, he probably doesn't like me. I don't know, you know? But also, in her defense, aside from everything, Alfred doesn't have feelings for me, all those things. Like, besides, I'm basically going to kill him, so I feel like that would negate the even slight possibility of him ever even developing feelings. Because logically, why are you going to be like, yeah, no, I'm totally into the bitch who's going to stab me? What? You know what I mean? I sure thought hasn't even gone there, but that's got to be somewhere in her mind. However, I could somewhat understand why others thought we were closer than our status suggested, considering we shared a secret. Still, to think he's letting me see his unease. Wait, is he starting to let his guard down? Hey, are you listening? Just admit it already! Sorry, I don't quite get what you're saying. Evelyn pressed me for a while. I continued dodging her questions, and Charlotte stepped in to smooth things over. Before long, I found myself enjoying the moment. Other side. Ooh, who's other side? Oh my God. Is Philip going to eavesdrop on our conversation? Oh, this doesn't bode well. Phew, I'm exhausted. I guess I'll have a quick drink before bed. The person who appeared in the hallway through the open door was none other than the owner of the room. Hey, perfect timing. You were a big help today. Looking forward to tomorrow. I thought he was going to eavesdrop on our conversation. Sure. Oh, by the way, how about a drink as a thank you? It's a good chance for us servants to bond and strengthen our unity. Sorry, but I'm talking to Evelyn and Charlotte right now. I'm about to prepare some fresh tea. Huh? That sounds like a fun get-together. Can I join? No. I was instantly rejected by her usual decisiveness, and I slumped my shoulders. Then I thought the corners of her mouth softened. Good night. Sweet dreams. Huh? Yeah. Good night. She lowered her head at the same perfect angle as always, and I quietly watched her leave. Are you going to try to cure... Wait, I thought he was going to listen into our conversation, but okay. Sensing something, I turned back to the door. Evelyn and Charlotte peeked out of her room and into the hallway. Hey, what's up with her? Is she in a good mood? I never thought she'd say sweet dreams. Because we're like, whatever, no. Like, okay, but we said something nice and they're going to be like, she really is in love. Oh no, you too. I thought he was going to eavesdrop on our conversation, but they're going to spill the beans. The pair exchanged looks, then broke into soft smiles, their faces full of amusement. What's going on? It's a secret. With those vague words, they went back into the room. What? Am I being left out? I see how it is. You're not a girl, Philip. It's girl talk time. Poor Philip doesn't have a guy to talk to. He doesn't have any guy friends. He's got, like, Nicholas, but I'm pretty sure, like, that man's just like, whatever. Like, he doesn't have any guys his own age. He stared at the closed door absentmindedly before heading back to my room. Interesting. I think that was a cute little aside. Because I was like, what? Okay, we're Philip. And I'm like, is he going to listen into our conversation and then tell Lily? But no, that was cute because he's like, the fuck is up with her? She just said sweet dreams to me? What the hell? And they're like, she's totally in love with Alfred. Oh my God. And that was literally supposed to be a little flag for us as the player to be like, oh yeah, no, she's dead. I mean, were we clueless? We know where this is going. You know the end result. So we already knew, and her punching the wall and getting so angry about Alfred being nice was obviously clues to us. But this is almost like maybe she's starting to get slowly clued into her own feelings, you know? But anyway, I love this background. This is beautiful. Look at those stars. It's pretty. I spent the night talking about trivial things with Evelyn and Charlotte until dawn. They gave me odd looks from time to time, but fortunately they didn't press me further about Alfred. I was relieved, because they both know after, yeah. Evelyn slapped her cheeks a few times, trying to get in the right mindset. All right, let's give it our best today. I respected that she never cut corners at work, no matter the situation. Charlotte, who worked in the kitchen, was the same. Following their example, I straightened my posture and picked up the basket of laundry. I'll check the oil in each room first, then hang these to dry. I parted with Evelyn and began checking the lamp oil. Then I caught sight of Lily's silhouette down in the gallery. Countless magnificent paintings and other works of art lined the gallery. She stopped in front of one, quietly staring. Edmund stood beside her. What are those two doing there? It looked like Edmund was saying something, but I couldn't hear him from this distance. It didn't look like they were discussing a cheerful topic from their expressions, though. They haven't noticed me. In that case, I crept through the gallery with bated breath and hid where I could faintly hear them.
I know your wounds aren't fully healed, but we can't keep waiting. You understand that, right? Fulfill your duties as a member of the high nobility. This matter benefits both our house and theirs. There's no need to make it public until after the exhibition is a success. Do you understand, Lily?
Benefits both our house and theirs. Fill your duties as a member. There's no need to make it public. I feel like he's trying to marry Lily off to one of the other 5 houses. And I feel like it's going to be Alfred, because that's going to cause, like, a whole thing. Like, we have feelings for him, but then he's going to marry, like, you know what I mean? Like, Edmund just decided this was going to happen. It's not like Alfred has any clue about what's going on. You know what I mean? He's never been involved in these talks. He's not okay with it. It's going to be Edmund being like, Lily's going to marry freaking Alfred. And Alfred's going to be like, excuse me, what? You know what I mean? It's going to be something he's going to bring up to Alfred later, and he hasn't done that yet. You know what I mean?
Are you listening, Lily?
Yes, Father.
Listen, forget the past. What's the point of clinging to a deceased husband?
It's not the case. Besides, why would you tell me to forget the past?
What is it you want to say?
No, it's nothing.
In any case, I'll inform him. Be sure to get yourself ready.
I'll inform him. I'll tell him what's happening, not ask. It seemed the conversation had ended. I moved away silently when I sensed Edmund walking my way. I rearranged the basket in my arms, bowed my head with a composed expression, and brushed past Edmund. Once he disappeared, I headed further into the gallery. Lily's still here. She remained in her spot, but... Is she smiling? The elegant smile she usually wore was gone. Instead, it felt more like the look of an adult. An adult had when fed up with a troublesome child. I had no way of understanding what could have made her give that look. Okay, I don't know why I couldn't comprehend that sentence. A vague, uneasy feeling rose within me. I left the place before it could overwhelm me. See, it's sus as fuck, and I guarantee you, like, it's gonna be something like Edmund has decided she's gonna marry Alfred or whatever, because you've got to do your duty as a member of this household and marry someone else that's rich and whatever. Fuck your dead husband, whatever, go marry somebody else. Like, and he's decided it's Alfred, I'll inform him. And he's going to inform Alfred that you are my daughter, whatever, and then Alfred's going to be like, yeah, no, I don't know if I agree with this, But Alfred's probably also thinking at the same time, if this is the way it's going to go down, like, doesn't matter if I agree or disagree, even though I'm disagreeing, he's going to insist on this, but whatever, because Spacey's going to fucking kill me later, so whatever. And even though I'm in love with her, there's never going to be anything happening here because she's going to kill me. So, kind of like problem solved if you think about it, because you put yourself in Alfred's shoes, right? You're sitting there like you're in love with this maid, right, who is actually a descendant of a former Five Houses house, and, you know, but she's basically like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and you're like, fine. Whatever. And originally you were like, fine. And then you're like, God, she's so pretty. God damn, I'd rather kiss her than have her kill me, but this is fine. She's gonna kill me. It's okay. It's fine. I'll just pine and be in love with her while she stabs me. Okay? And then you got Edmund showing up to you and is like, hey, you're gonna marry my fucking daughter. And you're like, the fuck I am? And he's like, the Queen's decided it. And you're like, excuse me? Like, you have no say. And he just leaves and you're just left with this, like, what the fuck do I do here? And you're like, because I'm in love with space / Spacey, right? But it doesn't matter because she's going to kill me. So whatever. I don't have to tell Spacey about this problem because it's not a problem because she's going to kill me. But then I'm going to find out and then be like, you are going to marry Lily because I'm in love with him and I didn't realize, and that's going to make me snap. Oh, God, the drama. The drama. We're going to be like, I wanted to love you. And he's like, but I wanted to love you too. Wait, what? Wait, whoa. Before you stab me, can we kiss a little? And then you can stab me. I don't want to marry Lily. What the fuck? You know? I'm just saying.
The Marquess and the White Lily had an exchange like that.
The next day, I secretly stopped by Goneril's shop while out in the city on an errand, or John's going to be the one to tell us when he finds out. I gave John a detailed account of everything that had happened, and we traded information.
Her late husband was Daniel, I think. I haven't heard anything bad about him, so he must have been a man of exceptional character.
See, and this is where the murder-suicide doesn't sound legit. I believe their marriage overcame class differences. However, Lily returned to the Bernstein mansion after that tragic murder-suicide attempt. See, class differences. Like, so he obviously wasn't part of the nobility. Maybe she didn't kill her husband. Maybe Edmund had him killed. Or whatever. Or poisoned him or something and then made Daniel go ballistic, and then it looks like a murder-suicide, but it wasn't like he intended to do it. You know what I mean? It was one of those, like, he was drugged and attacked Lily and then hurt him and then killed himself, whatever, and he never would have actually done that if he hadn't been drugged or something. I still think she killed her husband, but maybe she was in love with him because now it seems like her father is forcing her to just, like, step up and be a noble woman and go marry who I tell you to. Whereas maybe she actually loved Daniel. Interesting. I don't know. According to John, her husband was the one responsible for the murder-suicide, though the reason remained undiscovered. Again, I think could have been drugged. If the murder-suicide is legit, he was drugged. Otherwise, Lily absolutely killed him.
The truth's unclear as to whether it was really her late husband. He's dead and all we have is Lily's version of events. I guess there's also testimony from Philip and others.
Which sounds like maybe he was drugged. Maybe Edmund had Philip do it. You know, whatever. Because, I mean, I was definitely on the Lily killed her husband train until now when the father's like, yeah, don't worry about your wounds. Just fucking do your duty as a noblewoman and I'm going to sell you off to someone else. And that seems very much not like you don't give a fuck about your daughter and maybe you didn't like that she married someone beneath your class, you know? So maybe she didn't murder her husband. Maybe she actually loved her husband. She's still shady as fuck, though. I still don't trust her.
Let's put that aside for now. Honestly, a father speaking of duty and responsibility to his wounded daughter. What's he trying to do?
I don't know, but I'll look into it. Any news on Alfred and Lucas and how they're supposedly accomplices?
Sorry, there's nothing new to report. I went to Helkistan or whatever, but the trip turned out to be fruitless. I wish I could have brought back something useful.
Look at how sad you look, you precious thing. Oh. John, of all people, murmured that he was tired. A wave of guilt washed over me for making him go all the way there alone. He didn't come back empty-handed, though. He never does. He managed to uncover the ward's movements. Goneril emerged from the back of the shop. She must have been listening, as she naturally picked up the conversation. Her comment took me aback. The wards? Is it about Linus?
They're always on high alert if there's any sign of the Queen's life being threatened, ready to spring into action. And they've been making a lot of moves lately.
Linus pushed for the eradication of the anti-royalists during the Five Houses conference. The more cautious members had calmed him, Alfred included. Linus wasn't going to stand idly by and do nothing, however.
I doubt he'd act on his own, but depending on the circumstances, he seems ready to do just that.
And with the Queen's watchdog lurking around, it makes it hard for us to dig without raising suspicions. A real troublesome pup, for sure.
Still, we should be able to handle it as long as we're cautious.
As long as we're curious? Right, okay. Cautious is the word I can read.
I'll continue monitoring their movements for now. All right, that's decided.
I mean, you just decided it, so. As soon as he said this, John grabbed his hat and started getting ready. What a good little nature cowboy. He's like a fucking Boy Scout park ranger. Wait.
What is it, milady?
I wish you'd rest, even just a little. You're probably still exhausted after going to Helkistan, whatever. I never imagined you'd admit to being tired.
That was just a slip of the tongue. I'm fine, really. I'm pretty tough after all.
John put a hand on my head and smiled reassuringly, but I shook him off and stopped him. No, please take a break. Don't wear yourself out. He hesitated, seemingly wanting to say something. Then he took off his hat and smiled resignedly.
You're right. It might be a good idea to rest every now and then. It'd be a problem if my performance suffered when it really mattered.
That's a fair point, but I'm genuinely worried about you, John. You're my one and only childhood friend.
He's like, friend. And John died and was...
Take it easy today. I should be on my way. I need to return to the mansion. Thanks for letting us use your space, Goneril. It would mean a lot if you could stop John if he tries to push himself too hard. Sure thing. How about I sing you a lullaby, John boy?
What? No thanks, I'll pass. Hey, let go of me!
I chuckled at John and Goneril's goading each other, bid them farewell, and left the shop. I finished my shopping and went back to the mansion. The Bernstein mansion became increasingly hectic as the days went by. There was just under a month left until the exhibition. The members of the Five Houses grew even busier.
Lord Alfred is reluctant to return to the townhouse and has received permission from his lordship to stay here, starting yesterday. He asked for no special treatment, but be mindful not to cause him any inconvenience. His schedule is quite busy. The other members of the Five Houses are arriving today as well. Be ready and pay extra attention to your work.
It's interesting that Alfred's staying here. I feel like this is, I don't know. It's like, oh, he's staying here. Oh, does this have something to do with Edward telling him he's going to marry Lily? Understood. Everyone went off to their respective tasks. Evelyn whispered in my ear as we headed off to the same place. Good for you. What's this about? Lord Alfred's staying here. That means you two have more chances to get even closer. I've told you that's... I was at a loss how to reply. Nicholas then called out from behind me.
Before you begin your work, bring some tea to Lord Edward's room.
Understood. I exchanged a brief look with Evelyn, then headed to the kitchen to fulfill my assignment. After preparing the tea as Nicholas instructed, I found myself standing before Edward's room. I knocked softly, waiting for a response before opening the door. Guess who's here? Boyfriend and boyfriend? Oh my god. Why are you so red, white, and motherfucking blue? Simmer down the Americana, boy. Jesus. Apologies for the interruption. I've brought the tea. Thanks. I was just about to take a breather. And then here... excuse me, sir. He's in a total state of undress. He might as well be naked. He's simply wearing pants and a shirt. There's no vest. There's no nothing. Like, that little cravat that's on is attached to his shirt. Like, oh my God, he's practically naked. I love that this is his chillax. We haven't seen, I mean, is Alfred's chillaxed outfit the fucking one he wears to the Ravens? Because, sir, that's still, like, you're wearing a tight fucking overcoat. Edward, who was seated at his desk, set down his pen. I prepared some Earl Grey to help you relax, thinking you might be fatigued. Would you like some? You've seen right through me. I'd like to have some. I handed him a cup of tea. Edward took a sip and smiled softly at me. I'm aware that the red, white, and blue would not be Americana, because we don't drink tea. We'd be like, you want some fucking coffee, motherfucker? Like, we kicked all that tea in the harbor. You know what I mean? But, like, Jesus Christ, I can't see red, white, and blue like this and not be, I'd be like, Jesus Christ, simmer it down, America. Like, put the American flag down, motherfucker. Like, I get it's also the British flag, but still. And, you know, that's a prettier flag. Let's be real. Let's be honest. The Union Jack is a sexy flag. But, like, there's just something about this level of red, white, and blue that just, like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen British people adorn themselves in such fucking, like, patriotic colors and be, like, psycho about it. But, like, I don't know. I don't live in England, so I don't know. But, like, in America, yeah, it's like, okay, simmer it down, 4th of July. Jesus. Like, what the fuck? Like, the blue I expect, but what's with the red? No, tone it down. Tone it the fuck down, sweetie. I'm gonna need to replace those curtains in the back. This room is ridiculous. I handed him a cup of tea. Edward took a sip and smiled softly at me. The last time we had a chance to talk like this was back in Eden, wasn't it? That must have been the time I'd rushed to the scene of the wing hunting incident and had encountered Edward and Alfred, who were there supervising the investigation. There's been no progress on the case. We're working on it, but we haven't found a single lead on the culprit. It's frustrating. Don't give me those sad eyes. Edward's face was clouded with distress. He shook his head slowly, as though regaining his composure. It's sad that you have to be one of the later routes. I'm sure it's going to have something to do with Lily more than you, because I can't believe you ever did anything wrong in your entire fucking life. I can't. I can't. He's going to come out and be like the, darkest evil, something, because, you are just so delicate and precious, and if we sneeze too hard, you're just gonna fall apart. He is like a dandelion in the wind. The wind goes too, and then poof, he's all gone. I know dandelions are weeds, but they're fucking pretty, okay? Let's be real. They're, fluffy and soft and adorable, and then, again, a slight little breeze, and they're all poofed off into nowhere, spreading their little weed seeds, but it's just not the point. You know what I mean? He's delicate. He's like cotton candy, and if it rains or sprinkles a little, he's just gonna melt. He's a delicate little flower. So I just do not know what your route's gonna hold, that we have to do it later in the game. It's gonna be disturbing, and I'm sure it has something to do with your father and your sister, and not you. You are gonna be like the poor innocent little bystander. Look at that face. I'm supposed to believe there's anything evil about you? There's not a single bad bone in your body. I don't even think you know how to spell the word bad. I don't think he knows. Shh. Don't tell him bad things exist. It'll make him cry. He's sensitive. But I love him. He's so soft and delicate. But I mean, I'm just waiting for him to be a complete and utter, and just totally flip the book, and I will be bamboozled, not gonna lie. I'm even thinking about it, he's gonna bamboozle us and be totally evil, and I'm gonna be even if I'm thinking of it right now, I'm no, that's bullshit. I won't see it coming for realsies. I'll be I said it, but I did not believe it at all. Negative 100% do I believe that, okay? 3,000% do I believe he's the innocent, daintiest, most delicate little flower. We're gonna break this boy. Oh my god. Anyway. Look at his sad little face. It's so cute. Sorry. Talking about this will only scare you unnecessarily. No, I can handle it. Not at all. Having been there myself, the wing hunting incidents are no longer something I can regard as someone else's concern. It's a relief to hear that. Oh, if you don't mind, could you get some tea for Al too? He must be tired as well. Understood. I'll bring it right away. I flinched at Alfred's name, but Edward didn't try to read my emotions. Instead, he continued speaking with genuine concern. He's quick with his work and makes precise decisions. I believe he's still assigning tasks appropriately. It's just too much to handle. While I'm also coordinator, but with different experience, I can't help but lean on him greatly, and I feel bad about it. He's also managing the Ravens' work on top of that. It's understandable that he's tired, given that it doubles his usual workload. I listened with my usual composed expression, thinking about Alfred's circumstances, which Edward couldn't possibly know about. Would you mind telling him not to overwork himself when you bring the tea? Understood. I shall tell him. Watching Edward, I found myself suddenly worrying about Alfred. I'm just worried I'll be even further from my goals if he collapses. That's all. I'm not concerned about Alfred himself, like Edward. An uneasy feeling lingered within me, though I tried to convince myself otherwise. In any case, I forced myself to come to terms with it, telling myself that this was just something Edward requested of me. I think it's so cute. She's like, I'm not worried about him. Yes, you are. You're so cute. You love him. Can't wait to go to Alfred's room and see if he's wearing his full-on regalia suit or if he's just in there with just a shirt and if he's in a state of half undress, too. I can't wait, but we're going to find out next time. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.